It's time to Bogart. My God, a real nigga. Cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls to you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times two. Ain't no more hard.
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom. Once again with ICPK, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm Officer Apayat. Out here holding down class this Thursday. And today's date, I mean, what's today's date? January 16th. Saying. Today's class, we're going to be going over, as the title said, we're going to go over drug addiction here in Arizona. We're going to go over the California wildfire, and we're going to go over just end of times, man. What I mean by end of times, talking about everything prophesied in the Bible and everything that's going to come to pass here in the last days, man. That's what we're going to go over. First, we're going to start off with the drugs taking over Arizona, man. That's what we're going to start off with first. But first, before I do that, I want to say once again, this is IHUPK Arizona. I'm saying we have classes every Tuesday through Friday. We have classes from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we got classes on Saturday, which is Sabbath service, and that's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. noon, right? 11 a.m. Saturday to 1 p.m. noon. And once again, this if you're not an ISUPK, none of the truth. I mean, under Commander General Yana. Once again, let me just say, give me a minute. Make sure I'm clear. Let me just say, I want to say the water to Commander General Yana and ISUPK. You know what I'm saying, for keeping this nation going. You know what I'm saying, in past times, you know what I'm saying, a lot of what would you call it? A lot of brothers have come and go. I'm saying, I know we've seen online a lot of brothers, either, I can't say a lot of brothers, a few brothers, right? A few brothers that have fell off. They're bad mouth in the school and bad mouth in the generals and the brothers in the school. This is one thing I would say to everyone out there, man. In ISUPK, I always say to brothers that is in the world and they're coming into the truth, I always say to them that in ISUPK, I want you to think of it like this is where the actual fight starts and begins once you come into the school. Stop thinking once you come into the school like all your troubles go away. You know what I'm saying? This is where your fight actually begins, because when you're out in the world, you had no fight. You know what I'm saying? You had a hard time, you go smoke some weed. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in ISUPK, you can't smoke weed. You got to fight the demon of wanting to smoke weed. You get what I'm trying to say? That makes sense. So basically, the fight starts now. It don't stop once you come into the school. Because that don't make any sense. It's not what Christ died for. Christ died for us to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And ISUPK is upholding those laws, statutes, and commandments. So for you to think that your fight's going to go away once you come into the school, you're missing the whole point of this, right? You're missing the whole point of the men in the past and the hard work that was put in, and Christ dying in that cross for. Like you missing the post, man. Your fight begins now. This is where it gets hard now. You know what I'm saying? This is where, like, you got to issue the brother. You can't, out in the world, you got to issue the brother, like, what they say, meet up and fight or shoot it out or whatever. You can't do that here. You know what I'm saying? You got to settle your differences with words or to go to a council and get it settled that way. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the council is, you got to trust the men above you to, like, you got to listen to that council, right? This is why I say that your fight actually begins here. It doesn't begin, like, it doesn't stop once you come into the truth. That make no sense. You weren't fighting in the world. You came into the ISUPK to fight. This is what you're here to fight. You know what I'm saying? Your husband is here to fight. Your wife, she's here to fight. Your kids, they're here to fight. Fight for what? Fight for the kingdom. That's what you're fighting for, right? For salvation. You fight for the same thing that all the men of the old, the men of past times that died for, man. I'm saying Christ and his 12 disciples, Peter, Paul, all these brothers that walked and went through all these tribulations. This is what they were fighting for, right? They have the Joshua's, the Moses. You know what I'm saying? This like right now, the time that we're living in right now with the rumors, which I'm gonna go into today. You know what I'm saying, I'm about to get started with wars and rumors of wars and all the times that we're living in right now. Now is your time. Now is your time to basically this time that we're living in now to write your own history. I'm saying they're gonna tell stories about our Commander Jurian and ISUPK and General Muhammad and all these men. They went to war every Saturday, go in front of the so-called white man in this nation, calling them the devils and rebuking demons and fighting demons. You know what I'm saying, themselves, and trying to get over the turmoils and brotherhood and going through. You know what I mean? Different brothers coming and going and talking bad about the generals and this or whatever it may be, and sisters talking bad about and they're leaving and they're bad mouthing. Like, this is where it begins now. Stop thinking once you come into the ISUPK, like your fight is gonna end. No, this is where you're gonna be tested. You know what I'm saying? The Most High deemed you be worthy for the fight, so He allowed you to come into ISUPK. Open your eyes to come into ISUPK. Because believe me, I tell you, the Most High don't need me nor you. So He did it for us. He opened our eyes for this, right? And He bring you here to fight. So if you make the decision to say, you know what, I want to wash my hands and I don't want to fight no more, I'm done. Okay, then leave. Leave then. But all this, you online and you bad mouthing the general and you talking ill will and you feel some type of way in your feelings. Oh, General Muhammad told me to apologize. And like, what do you like? The reason why I don't even so much of address certain things like that with brothers, because I know that it's looking for attention. I demon on them just looking for attention. And you're not going to get it from me. If you notice anyone on the history of me, you won't get me to open my mouth and say nothing online. I'm saying, but here in class today, we're going to address it now, man. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to start off with we're going to start off with the fires, right? We're going to start off with the fires in or not fires, but slacking. We're going to start with the drug addiction, right? In Arizona. I want to read an article first, though, right? Let me see if I can get the article right now. In fact, I had it up. Let me in fact, I'm gonna read the article, then I'm gonna go to everyone know about what is it? Joe Rogan, right? The Joe Rogan show. So let me read the article first. This article is AmericanAddictionCenter.org, right? AmericanAddictionCenter.org. It says cocaine is the second most common drug use in America, according to usage status. Phoenix, Arizona, had the highest cocaine usage percentage in the country, with over 20% of residents having tried the drug before. Mesa, Arizona, and Omaha, New England, are the runners up. So meaning Arizona got two cities, right? They got Phoenix and Mesa, who's leading the country in cocaine use. And if you go down, they tell you the usage also of marijuana. So you have marijuana and cocaine use. If anybody here in Arizona, you know as well as me, if you drive on the I think it's the I-10 freeway going east. So you have we know where the 17 and the 10 freeway meet. You can smell the aroma on that. It's a marijuana, what do you call it? A marijuana dispensary that you could smell, man. I'm talking about Phoenix is filled with drugs. You name it. You name it, man. Phoenix is filled with drugs, and Mesa following right behind, right? In cocaine usage, right? But I'm gonna play this article right now. In fact, what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna see if you guys can see it on my phone, right? See if you can see it on my phone.
Number one.
I'll tell you what. I'll play the audio of it. I'll play the audio for everyone here. All right, let me go back.
Today. What's the number one city in the country for drug abuse?
Oh. Drug abuse?
Wait, per capita or total?
Yeah, like totals, like percentage of people that are abusing drugs.
But major city. Otherwise, it's going to be some minor town.
I'm going Salt Lake City.
Nope.
No, that's a big one, though. A lot of meth there.
It's going to blow you away.
Hold on. Let's all guess.
It's going to be some...
Springfield, Missouri.
Nope.
Montpelier.
Nope.
So if you notice, none of them have got it right? They're like Springfield, Missouri. They're naming all these different cities, right? And here's what Joe Rogan just said.
Phoenix.
He said Phoenix.
Coke and meth.
Oh,
yeah.
Coke.
They were talking about coke and meth. They were Phoenix. Coke and meth.
Oh,
yeah.
Coke.
They were talking about coke and meth. They were talking about the percentage of the population that does coke and meth.
I thought you meant like degenerate drug addicts. Not
well,
like
it's the
any of us.
apparently it's because that's the trafficking route where the coke comes across the border.
Right.
Because, it probably comes through the bottom of Arizona and shoots through Phoenix, and everybody gets coked up in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
God, they got a lot of talking about coke and meth.
Yo, If you know anything about Arizona, you know this. Arizona got a territory which I spoke about in last class, right? Last week. It's called Ground Zero, where the homeless people are at, right? Ground Zero. And in Ground Zero, if you go there, you're gonna find countless of drug addicts, right? I mean, like you cannot count the amount of drug addicts that's in on drug usage that's in Ground Zero. Once again, we in IACPK, we know about that because we were out there, right? We were out there with them, with those drug addicts, passing food out and doing different things, right? Here's what I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna read it out. I'm gonna start off at Proverbs 16 and 27, right? In Proverbs 16 and 27, it says, "And an godly man diggeth up evil," right? Proverbs chapter 16, verse 27. "An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is as a burning fire." What does that sound like to you? It sound like marijuana usage, right? It sound like that heroin usage, right? It sound like all those things that here in Arizona they're struggling with. There's a famous Arizona, I want to say it's an Arizona like page for drug addicts. It's called 3 something or 602. It's called, I think it is. Matza, if you're watching out, like put it on there of where that's at. It's a famous one. It's called, like, I think it's 602 is called or something like that, where like it show you interviews of all the drug addicts and people that use drugs here in Arizona Metro Center, right? Like Phoenix, Mesa, Glendale, way out west, even Peoria. Like it show all the different cities, right? Specifically, in fact, I'm gonna read it from my phone. Specifically, Chandler and Mesa, which we're reading about, right? Let's go to Ezekiel 8 and 17. I'm reading off my phone though. Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 17. Ezekiel 8, 17. Give me a minute. All right, we're starting off with, once again, like I told you in today's class, we're going to be talking about in today's class, we're going to be talking about drugs here in Arizona. We're going to be talking about the wildfires in California, and we're going to jump into the end of times, right? So Ezekiel 8 and 17 says, "Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man?" Once again, the son of man is the most Christ, right? It is a light thing to the house of Judah that they committed the abomination which they commit here, for they have filled the land with violence and have returned to rebuke them to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. What's that branch they put to their nose? What does that sound like to you? Once again, it sound like drugs, right? It sound like marijuana, that branch to their nose, right? Because that's what you got to do. When you smoke that weed, they put that weed to their mouth, right? Which is by your nose, right? And let me ask you something. If anybody can answer this question for me, right? Which one is worse, right? The drug user, the person that doing the drugs, or the person that that's indulging, or the person that's selling the drugs, right? The person that's doing the drugs or the person that's selling the drugs, which one is worse? Right? Which one is worse? Without a doubt, you say, let's lock here. Khan, yes, hey, Thuata is on. It's called Lost in Phoenix. Khan, Thuata, that's the one. I don't know why. I don't know why I said 602. I don't know if there's another page of 602, but yes, that sounds about right. Lost in Phoenix is right up. That's the page right there that you look it up on TikTok. If I'm right on that, Razan, let me know. I think it's on TikTok, right? You look it up on TikTok or is it on YouTube? One of them. But you see countless stories, man. And if you live here in Arizona, it might run into people that you went to high school with. You might see people you went to high school with on there. You know what I mean? It's bad. You know what I'm saying young people, man. Older people, you name it. Black, white. I mean, every nation damn near is in there. I think I saw like an Asian one time. You rarely see Asians, right? Or at least they might have been from first eye. I thought they were Asian, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna start off with Exodus 18 and 20, 18, 22 and 18. Exodus 22 and 18 said, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." Why do I read that? Why do I say why do I pull that precept? Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Because it's witchcraft. That's what it is, man. That's smoke. You know what I'm saying? That's witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? They gotta roll it up and they puff it and that's witchcraft, man. That's someone that's a drug dealer right there. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that distribute or cook up that weed. That's talking about drug dealers right there, right? First Peter's. I'm going to jump down now to First Peter's. First Peter's chapter. Start off with 1 and 13. First Peter chapter 1, verse 13. And we're going to go from 13 to about 15. So from 13 to about 15. It says, First Peter's chapter 1, verse 13 says, "Wherefore gird up thy loins of your mind and be sober." Because in today's time, you're going to have to be sober. Why is it important to be sober in today's time? Especially if anybody that's been on drugs before has been out at a party and you're inebriated or whatever the hell it may be, right? And whether you've done cocaine, even if, let's just say someone that's out here drunk, right, at a party or at a house party or whatnot. And I know a lot of sisters can more so vouch for this. And there was a story going around on Facebook, and it was a woman. She said she went to a party and she got really drunk, right? She was on take a bunch of drugs. So she was drinking and she was taking drugs, right? And she said that she woke up in the bed of a man the next day that she didn't know, right? And she said that about a week later, a couple weeks later or whatnot, she started realizing her face has gotten really bad, like breaking out. Basically, long story short, she was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, right? That story was all on Facebook. I mean, you go look it up. Her face was, I mean, if you seen her, it was disgusting, man, the way that woman looked. And she started talking about how how important it was to be conscious of what you're doing, right? How important it was to be conscious of what you're doing and make sure you're conscious. Make sure you're sober, that you don't go to a party. And I think she had said her friend left her, right? Her friend had left. She got upset. Her friend got upset at her because she wasn't listening to her, so her friend left and went off, right? And what I find to be interesting is, reading this scripture, it said to keep your mind sober. The reason why it's important is because you see, if you're not sober, you possibly can end up in a situation like that. Because if she was sober, right? Imagine if that woman was not high on drugs and at a party and being a harlot, being a whore, right? Imagine if she was not being that. She wouldn't have been diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, especially today. You know how much things are out there today? Telling you, man, you know how much things are out there today. That's why it's very, very, very important, man. Very important that you keep a sober mind, right? I'm gonna go ahead and finish that for you. He said, "Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind and be sober," right? And hope to the end for the grace that it is to be brought upon you at the revelation of Jesus Christ or Yahushua, right? And he says, "As obedient children, not fashioning yourself according to the former lust." Salakia, the former lust in your ignorance. Meaning what? It's ignorant for you to go out there and Verse 15. It's ignorant for you to go out there and partake in these drugs. Like I said before, Arizona, specifically Chandler and Mesa, is number one in cocaine and marijuana usage. You know what I'm saying? Number one in cocaine and marijuana usage, because everyone know that that's a major port for where a lot of the drugs come in through the United States, right? Phoenix, tons, damn near, I would say about easily over 50% of the drugs, right? If you're talking about this West Coast, I mean, let's be honest, you haven't about that percentage rises about 80% of the drugs come through Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? To get to the destination here in the West Coast. But in America, I say easily over 50%. Because of course you have the East Coast, you have islands like the Caribbean islands, you know what I mean, where it's a port for a lot of those drugs, right? But what I'm saying, it's very important, like the Most High is saying here, that you keep yourself in a sober mind. Because look at that woman, for instance, if she didn't go to a party and she didn't get drunk and full on drugs, she would have never end up catching HIV/AIDS from a man that slept with her. She said when she woke up, she didn't even know who the man was. She snuck out the house. And after she snuck out the house and she figured, well, you know, it's behind me now. I forgot about it. Like, I'll forget about it. He'll forget about it. I don't know who this guy is. She tried to put it out of her mind. And she said that within a week later, her face started breaking out. She went to go get tested. And they said she was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. And it was for that reason. I mean, if you've seen her face, you got to see her face, man. You go look the story up. Her face got bad, man. He said, because verse 15 says, but as he which hath called you in a holy, let's call you is holy, and to be ye holy in all manner of conversation. It's very important that no matter what you do, you keep it. You know, the word holy means to be separate, right? So you want to separate your things from, separate yourself from cocaine. I mean, drugs. What people call today the limelight, or go to parties and you go to clubs and getting smoking weed, all these things. I'm telling you, all these things, at the end of the day, anybody that's been through it tell you it's not worth it. Anybody that's been through it tell you it's not worth it, man. And that's what's crazy thing about it is America sell us here an illusion, right? They sell us an illusion that that cocaine, right? That drugs, to be inebriated, you want to be drunk out of your mind. That's a fun time. That's the reason why you go to a lot of parties, you realize that these parties are only good. People only have a good time when they're not sober, if that makes sense. They got to be damn near unconscious for them to have a good time. And that's when you start to realize that about yourself. What you want to realize is the number one thing what should come to your mind is, okay, this is a demon, and a demon is creeping in. So you want to be very conscious of that, right? Very conscious of what you're doing. All right, we're going to drop that. Let's get 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. Let's read 19 and 20. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you? Meaning the Most High is saying here, your body's a temple. You want to make sure you treat your body right, man. This goes with, once again, anything that abuse the body, like food, alcohol, drugs, what else? Give me some other ones. As simple as a woman cutting herself, right? A man cutting himself. You have men now, I guess, cut themselves, right? Which I'm sure it's probably been around the whole time. You know what I'm saying, this is something I just learned. I didn't know men cut themselves, or you know what I mean. But all these things are abusing your body, right? Most I saying your body is a temple, right? And if it's a temple, you want to make sure you treat your body right. You want to make sure you do things that, like, you want to make sure you exercise, you drink in moderation, you don't take cocaine, marijuana, all these things, right? And abuse your body, because once again, it says right here, it says, what ye not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have God, and ye are not your own. Meaning that body doesn't belong to you. That body belongs to the Most High. You're only using that body right now. The body you have is what the Most High gave you, specifically gave to you for you to work with, right? So the Most High is saying that, like, it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to me. You want to make sure you treat that body right, right? It's verse 20 says, for ye are bought with a price. I'll read that again. It said, for ye are bought with a price, right? Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Don't forget, the Most High said he regards Israel, right? The nation of Israel, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, right? He regards Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians to be gods onto the earth, right? So basically, we have authority onto the earth. Once again, in ISUPK, if you didn't know, you're watching this, ISUPK do not teach that all men, everyone on the face of the earth is equal. That you won't find that. Hell, America doesn't teach us that this place is not equal, right? Because when Blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians, when we were in slavery, this nation, the so-called white man, he had a law written that said all men were created equal. But of course, that didn't mean the slaves, because we were slaves, right? So that didn't go for us. That didn't show us that. That even show us that all men weren't created equal, right? So what you want to do is you want to understand that the Most High is saying to you here that ye are gods. Black and Hispanics, Native American Indians, we are gods unto these other nations, meaning that they're supposed to be looking up to us. See, now we carry ourselves like they're supposed to be like, oh my God, look at that woman, like she's so righteous. See, I mean, look at that Black sister, she's so righteous. Black women are so beautiful. They're so this. Or Hispanic women, oh my gosh, Hispanic women and their flavor and their look at the way they carry themselves. I mean, their beauty, like that's what they're supposed to be saying about our women, right? And look at their bodies. You heard this saying today, right? Oh my gosh, look at the Black and Hispanic women has the best bodies. That's the reason why what the world, they want to go get a Brazilian butt lift, right? They want to go get a what they call it, BBLs. BBL was created because of how our women look, right? How our women were shaped. You see, back in the day, in old times, they find up like the old like during the time of like King James and all them, you find like what they call them, like the satchel what the women used to wear, white women used to wear, right? And when they wear those satchels, they used to have to suck their stomach in after they tie the satchels together, right? To give themselves a certain shape. Then they have like a little, I don't know what to call it, like a little what do you call it? Like a hanger or something to kind of lift up the buttocks, right? The butt area. So the butt, like, make it look like she has a butt or have a body, right? That comes from our women. That comes from our women being shaped a certain way. So you see that even in a corset, exactly what it was. You know what I mean? The water for that. A corset is what it was, right? A corset. You see that the corsets, that was created based off of what our women look like, right? Our women look like that. So they created that to mimic our women because we are gods unto them. Right? We're empowering to them. There's a hierarchy in life, right? This earth is a hierarchy, and Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are above every other nation on the face of the earth. That's the reason why we are in such hell today. When they came over here and they took this land from the Native American Indians and Hispanics, brothers and sisters, a lot of them they took over back into Rome in the slavery, right? Took England in the slavery and Italy and all in the UK. They took them back as slaves. And what did they say about them? They said these are wonderful people. They were so astonished and so like at an awe, like, holy crap, like we gotta have some of them over there for us, you know what I'm saying? Because we're God onto these people, right? But to the Most High saying, since we're that, we have to treat our body right. I'm reading verse 20 again. It said, for ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's, right? Because once again, that's who we are, right? Let's go with James 4:7. James chapter 4, verse 7. So James chapter 4, verse 7, God says, submit yourself, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. The Most High is saying to the nation of Israel, you have to submit yourself to the Most High, right? When you submit yourself, what does it mean to submit yourself to the Most High? And to resist the devil, and ye shall flee from you. Right? It says this is why women should take care of their mission and not. Right, correct, sis. They says this is why women should take care of their prized possession and not give it to just anybody. Agree 100%. I agree 100%, man. I told you, like, so I'm gonna give an example, like the sisters, right? If you like, when you deal with any men of any wealth and possession, right? I knew a few men of at least in our world, they had wealth and possession, right? Anything that was worth it to them, they will hide away to be held in secrecy or to be held separate from the world. I mean, they don't want everyone to see what they have. It's kind of like this, for instance. You ever heard of saying, like, in the hood, when you buy a big ass like 100-inch TV, right? And when you buy the big 100-inch TV and you have the box, what do you do with the box? You don't take it and broadcast it out so your neighbors and everybody see you have a 100-inch TV. What do they do? They cut the box up, or at night they go out and chop the box up and cut it up and burn it, or throw in the trash deep down so your neighbor don't see it, right? So what I'm trying to say is, use an example to say, like, women needs to see themselves as that price, that jewel, that price possession, and you need to hold yourself like that. I mean, you want to make sure you cover yourself up. You want to make sure you carry yourself in a light where not just anybody be able to see you. To follow the law, statutes, commandments, also to fear the Most High. Exactly. That's what that means, right? I'm assuming, sister, you're talking about when I said to submit yourself. That's exactly what it means. Submitting yourself to the Most High. Submit yourself to God means that you have to keep the law, statutes, commandments, right? You have to put away everything that you know. Let's just say in the past you learned that, I don't know, that the earth was flat, right? Let's say you learned the earth was flat. Now, when you come into the ISUPK, we teach that the earth is not flat. Once again, the earth is not flat. I remember when I was a kid, I thought the earth was flat. I'll never forget the first time. So if you're a Benjamite, specifically Jamaican, you know that when you live in Kingston your whole life, when you heard a saying like, yo, you ever been across the waters? It is a term in Jamaica, it's called across the waters, right? When you cross the waters and you go into what's called like the nice part and the part where everyone come on vacation within Jamaica. So I went there one time when I was a kid, right? And when I went there when I was a kid one time, here's one thing that I specifically remember thinking. So one time, there was a big tire, right? I was young, I couldn't really swim. And I was a kid, very young kid. And they gave me a tire and I was holding on to the tire and I was floating out into the ocean, right? And I remember I got so far, I couldn't see anybody. So I started yelling, screaming. In my head, you couldn't tell me I was going to roll off that. Like, the water wasn't coming to an end. I was going to roll off the earth. You couldn't tell me as a kid, right? But I'm only saying that to say children thinks that way, right? Only a child thinks that way. In ISUPK, we teach that the earth is round. You know what I'm saying? And in another class, I'll definitely be able to get you a breakdown for that and show you, like, the earth is not flat. The earth is actually round. Very much round. It's not flat. I promise you. How you know? You go out there and you see from where United States sits, if you go north or east, what do you call it? Northeast, right? If you go northeast of the US, if you keep going and going and going, look at your maps. You can't miss it. You're going to run into Russia. You can't miss it. You cannot miss it. You're going to run into Russia. You can't. But like I said, that's a breakdown for another day, right? The only way to fear Yahweh is to believe power he holds over you. Power you. Consequences. He says, I don't know what that means. So the only way to fear Yahweh is to believe in the power. So the only way to fear the Most High is this. Like, the only way to fear the Most High is to keep his law, statutes, and commandments. That's the easiest and the most simplest way to break it down. If God said you shouldn't smoke, just don't smoke. All right. If God said you shouldn't be a drunkard, just don't be a drunkard. Right. Don't. God said you can't be a whoremonger, right? Sleep with a woman, throw her away. Then don't sleep with a woman. Don't throw her away, right? If God say you can't leave your husband, don't leave your husband. If God say, I don't know. If God say that, if God even said this color was unlawful right here, that's behind us, right? You can see right there. The color is I don't want to call it like a maroon red color or whatever, right? If God said that color was unlawful, we wouldn't use that color. It wouldn't be in here, right? So the easiest way to look at it is to fear the Most High is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. In fact, let's drop that, right? Let's drop that. Let's go to I think it's Proverbs chapter 1. Let's go to Proverbs, right? Let's go to Proverbs. I always say Proverbs to me is one of my favorite books in the Bible, man. If you want to, I always tell everybody, you want to gain some discipline, you want to gain some understanding in life. If you're a sister or a brother out there, want to gain some like true discipline, right? If you want to get to a place in your life where your life basically you can have your life moving forward, right? What I mean by moving forward, I'm talking about like you having an understanding in life that, okay, well, I've been doing the same thing over and over, and I've not gotten different results, right? Proverbs can help you get a different results in life because Proverbs develop discipline, right? It says, Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1 says, the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, right? It says, to know wisdom and instructions, to preserve or perceive the words of understanding. Verse 3 says, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equality. Verse 7. Verse 7 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fool despise wisdom and instructions. Meaning what? What is God saying here? God's saying that first it deals with fear, right? I'm going to break this sentence down right, this verse down right here, scripture down right here. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Meaning what? To fear the Most High means you're wise to fear the Most High. Why is it wise to fear the Most High? Because he can kill you. Don't forget in Genesis, when the Most High said what? He says, me paraphrasing, he says, I don't have to go back and forth with men, right? The Most High said, I won't always go back and forth with men. I don't have to do that because I could just kill you, right? And this, you having fear for the Most High, understand that like he not only can he kill you, he can destroy your soul. What I mean by destroy your soul, I'm talking about that thing which you find. If you somebody that say you have no fear, the Most High will, trust me, he will expose that. He said, oh, she has no fear. Oh, he has no fear. Okay, well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm gonna haunt her every step. I'm gonna haunt his every step. You see the Most High done in the Bible countless times, right? So the Most High saying it's wise for you to fear me, right? He says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. How you can tell someone is smart, right? If you're somebody that wants to develop wisdom, start fearing God. That's the number one step, right? It's to fear the Most High, right? Then he says, the Most High then said, contrary to that, he says, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. I mean, if you're a woman out there and you can't take instruction, you can't take being told what to do, you can't follow those simple instructions, then the Most High is saying here, you are a fool, right? The Most High is calling you a fool. The reason being is because there's nothing like, so you ever heard a saying, how do you become intelligent? The only way to become intelligent is for you to get correction. It's like you going to school again. You have to make some amount of mistakes. And within you making those mistakes, you got to get corrected on those mistakes. And then you got to apply them, right? That's why it's called the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, meaning practice, right? You have to do these day in, day out. That's the only way you're going to get better, right? So meaning that you have to practice being able to take instructions, being able to follow instructions, right? Because God is saying right here, but fools despise wisdom and instructions, right? I'm telling you, right? I won't go too much into it, but if you ever want to gain some discipline, man, Proverbs is the way to go. I promise you. Proverbs is the way to go. You want to make sure you apply some discipline in your life, and Proverbs can get you that. Not only mention really the whole Bible, really, but you can get it from Proverbs. Acts is another one, right? Or Psalms, my bad. Psalms will give you some discipline, man. You know what I'm saying? Hearing those stories, you know what I'm saying? To get you that discipline you need. Now let's do this. Since we're on wisdom, right? Let's do this. Let's get Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 21. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 21. Right? Since we're on the topic of wisdom, I want to touch into the wildfires, and I touched into that last week. You know what I mean? But since we're on the topic of wisdom, let me get 3 and 21. And 21. It says, Salakia. Ecclesiasticus. I said it wrong. Ecclesiasticus, right? 3 and 21. 3 verse 21. It says, Ecclesiasticus 3 and 21 says, seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. What does that mean? Right? You ever heard a saying, never pick up more than you can carry? If anybody ever heard that saying, never pick up more than you can carry. See, I'm a Benjamite, man. You know, and Benjamites have those, as you come up in Jamaica, you have those little parables, man, that you hear from you're a kid, right? And one of them was, never pick up more than you can carry, man. You don't want to pick up, you want to be somebody that pick up more than you can carry, right? You want to, it's like when you go to the gym, right? Your sister that go to the gym or your brother that go to the gym and go lift weights. You'd be a fool to pick up 700 pounds. Why don't you want to pick up 700 pounds? Why? Because you can't manage 700 pounds. So you shouldn't pick it up, right? It's like self-explanatory, right? It's wise not to pick up more than you can carry. It's 21. Give me a minute. Bear with me. Bear with me. It says, who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upwards, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downwards to the earth? Most I saying is, who know that man, right? Psalms 37 and 16. Who know that man but the Most High, right? Meaning that, Salakia, Psalms 37, 16. Says, Psalms chapter 37, verse 16 says, a little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. Does it mean to focus on the task in front of you and don't worry about other things? That could be that right there is a precept for that. Yes. He's saying, does it mean to focus on the task? See, a lot of times in life, I mean, it just really and truly, it's a natural human reaction for us to be, and unless you develop a certain discipline and skill, right? For when we start one thing, before we start something else, we typically don't finish that. See, when I was a child, like I could speak on that. When I was a child, I was notorious for that. Right? You find like all the toys I used to get, I used to take them apart, and now you see me like I put them back together. And when I put them back together, I realize the piece missing. So I take it apart again. I'm like, man, where does this piece go? Right? So instead of me figuring that out, what I did was I took another toy apart and started, you know what I mean? Children do that, right? Children do that. I mean, whether men or women, today's time, the reason I'm using the word children is because until you develop a certain skill to not do that, you have to be regarded as a child when you do things like that, right? Only a child do that. So you want to make sure you're somebody that no matter what, you want to finish what you start, man. You want to exit. You want to make sure you're somebody that exercise your brain to no matter what it is you start, you finish what you start. That's actually an excellent skill, man. Our discipline to learn. You want to make sure you finish what you start. If you're somebody that like if you're like a boy, you in high school, you're a young man. I mean, and you start like the My Career, right? The My Career, you start that. And you say, you know what? The goal is to I want to make it to the pros in the My Career. What you want to do is you want to make sure you see it all the way through, right? You start to develop a certain skill. No different than when you come in here into the truth in ISUPK. What you realize is if you're somebody that apply those things to your everyday life, it makes it a lot easier when you're in here, right? What I mean by a lot easier when you're in here is you realize that you're in here for the long run, not a short time. You ever heard the saying like the race is not for the swift, but rather those that can endure? That's what the ISUPK is. That's what life in general is. It's not for the swift, how fast you can, oh my God, I'm a sister, like, I cook. Everyone loved my cooking. I'm the one that, I make it always a Passover. I make the meal for Passover. I'm in like, okay, congratulations. I don't want to diminish your, you know what I mean, your like, that's good. Sister that want to accomplish, that's excellent. What you want to do is you want to make sure, okay, you make it there. How long have you been doing it? I mean, how long you've been in the ISUPK? How long you been a pastor? How long you been supporting the brothers? Now, not on the other realm, right? If you're a brother, right? And oh man, I'm an officer of 1,000 or 5,000 or a captain of this. I mean, oh man, I'm that in the ISUPK. Okay, no sweat. How long can you remain in the ISUPK? Remain keeping the law, statutes, commandments. It remain going out on the streets every weekend. It remain going to pass out flyers, and you watch people that take the flyers with you. Like, trust me, every man here that do the work know this. They take slow and steady wins a race. Khan says, yeah, slow and steady wins a race. You see people that they take the flyer from you. You go pass flyers on, they take a flyer out your hand, right? When they take a flyer out your hand, you probably spend like 30 minutes talking to them. They take a flyer out your hand. They say they come to class. Yeah, I mean, they sound like they're ready to learn, change their life. And the minute you walk away from them and they turn a corner, they put that flyer in the trash and walk off. Now, can you, even in the midst of you doing that, right? Can you go out there and still pass out flyers, right? Talk to people for hours and be able to answer questions for hours? Can you do that day in, day out? Can you do that every Saturday, right? For years, can you do that? I'm saying if you can do that, then ISUPK is made for you. If you can't do that, then honestly, this place is not made for you. Once again, like, remember when I started the class off by saying this, don't think when you come into the ISUPK, your trouble goes away. That's what a lot of people come into the school, the ISUPK, they think, okay, well, my troubles are done. Like, I'm in the truth now. Like my troubles are done away with. No, this is where your fight begins in the ISUPK. This is where your fight begins. The minute you come into the school, you start keeping law, statutes, and commandments. The devil's going to come after you even more. He wants you now. He wants you even more. Like, ain't nothing. So in the world, right, there's a certain demon in the world, right, that you ever heard a saying, or if you're a man out there, you know this. There's a saying coming up where if you're somebody that, like, you commit murders or you commit crime, you're not a real murderer until you kill somebody that's a murderer, right? And, like, that's how the devil think of things, right? He think of it like this. it's easy to get somebody out in the world to take cocaine, go rape a girl, to kill, murder, do all these filth, right? It's easy to get them to do it. Well, can you get a man that, or a woman that's been keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, been on a command in Johanna? Can you get one of them to do it? For the devil, that's more of an accomplishment. Does that make sense? That's more of an accomplishment to get you once you're here in the school. So stop thinking that your life is gonna, like, man, it's I'm here now, I've made it. No, this is where the fight begins now. So stop going online and, oh man, I'm the Generals this, or I'm mad at the UPK because they did like stop, man, stop. You know what you signed up for. You're a grown man, you know what you signed up for. You're a grown woman, you know what you signed up for. When you took that oath, that oil poured over your head. If you're a sister, you get your name, you get the oil poured over your head. That is you making what do you call it? You having a contract with the Most High that you're going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what that is, right? And when you break that contract, it's like you basically took that oath in blood. That's what you did. And when you break it, when you hear like the brothers that, oh man, they leave and they certain things fall upon them, or you hear that they die in the worst way, or sister, she died, she's in the hotel and she died off and was taking drugs, or a sister, she does something happened to her and she passed now, or brother passed, or whatever. Like, you took that oath in blood. Because you took it in blood, Most High require blood when you leave from this house. I'm telling you, it doesn't get it. It's not, your struggles don't go away. What you're doing is the Most High brought you here. Now you have a chance to fight for the kingdom of heaven. He and I UPK. That's what it is. You're here to fight for a chance for the kingdom of heaven, right? So, but if you do warn the righteous person not to sin, and they do not sin, they will surely live because they took warning, and you will have saved yourself. Yes, if you're somebody that, like, you're warned, okay, don't do this, don't do that, and you listen to that warning, right? And you listen to that warning and you don't do it, then yes, the kingdom of heaven is for you. I'm telling you, like, look at it like this. Look at it like this. The struggles on the battles you overcome, right? Being here in ISUPK, that's what gives you credence. That's what gets your name written in the like Esther. Take Esther, for instance, right? Esther's name is written in blood in the nation of Israel. Her name is written in blood. How do you know? All thousands of years, Esther's name still carry on. Her character and countless other sisters in the Bible, their names still carry on. Right? Their name is written in blood, meaning that they overcame, right? They overcame that demon. They overcame the hardship. Brothers that overcame Joshua, Matthew, Paul. Don't forget Apostle Paul. I mean, look at his story, right? Christ, name David, Solomon, right? You're thinking of even though he went off, King Saul, right? You think of men, countless men, right? Who name has been written in history. Even that traitor Judas, his name is written in history based off of what? His action, right? What you do. So yes, when you overcome those demons and you fight that battle, your name will be written in the history books. Because that's all we're doing right now. We're living life we're living right now is for our names to be written in the history books. That's what you're here for. You're here for your name to be written in the history books, and you want your name to be written in the history books. So how you have your name solidified? Do like what Hester do. Hester do what she was told. Look at Hester, man. What made Hester so great? Don't forget. Read the book of Hester again. Hester listened to her father. Right? She listened to the men that was leading her, man. That's how she was able to have her name carry on all the way through history. Think about it. The men that Esther listened to, their name is not carry as much weight as Hester did. Hester's name carry on, even though Hester was taking orders from them. That's how life is, right? The greatest leader was one day He used to be the greatest follower. That's the best way to look at life, right? The sister that she took orders the best, she would go to be the best sister, like Esther was. Right? And there's no way to overcome it, man. That's the only way to do it. Is the only way to understand it is, as I just read in Proverbs, where it said the beginning of wisdom. If you want to gain wisdom, you have fear the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. Yeah, grape, right? Yeah. Slakia. I can't say that. The R word. You're right. I mean, I can't say that R word on these streams. I know they'll ban you for saying that R word, right? So you got to say grape, right? The water. I'm saying you got to say the word grape, and what else? All these algorithms today, man. Grape or woman, right? Which that just sounds, man. The grape, like that's a lot here. You know what I'm saying? Let me get let's go to Hebrews 10:7. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 7 says, "Then said I," you can slack it, you can say S-aid. Well, what is that? What is S-aid, Razan, if you may? Are you educating me? What's that? What's S-aid? Sound like what the Israelites be calling each other. S-aid. Yeah, you gotta, Razan, you have to educate me on that. So Hebrews 10:7 says, Then said I, lo, I come in the vault. So like, sexual assault. Okay. I see. Okay. Thwada. Okay. Salakia. So sexual. Okay, I see. Hold on. So I can't say the word sexual assault. I have to say SA then, right? All right. Thwada. Everybody. Yeah, I can't say the R word. Yeah. Thwada. But yeah, Salakia. Hebrews 10:7 says, Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. Or I come in. Salakia, I come to do thy will, O God. I mean, the Most High is saying right here. All right, in Hebrews is saying, Hebrews was written by, if I'm not mistaken, Hebrews was written. Salakia, let me get it right now. The Apostle Paul, right? Paul, right? So Paul is saying, so Hebrews 10, Salakia. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7. Verse 7 said, Then said I, come to do thy will, O God. Meaning, as long as you know IUCBK, you understand this. Let nobody stop you and take that from you. You're here to do the will of the Most High. The Most High is the reason why you're here. The Most High is the reason why me, you, all the brothers, all the officers, the sisters, the captains, even the generals, right? The Most High is the reason why we're all here. So don't let anybody stop you from keeping the law, statutes, commandments, being here in IUCBK. Right? Oh, sexual con. Thought I was on. No, yeah, I never heard that saying before. So that's why I'm like, yeah. So S8. Okay, yeah. See, it's I know on a sidebar, I know TikTok is coming to an end, right? And with TikTok coming to an end, I think there's another app. I remember somebody telling me there was another app that everyone's moving over from TikTok. They're going over to that app, right? And if anybody know that one, they can write that one down for me. What's the app that everyone's moving away from, moving after TikTok? What's that app called? We're gonna make sure we have an account for that. Salakia does Lemon 8 does. I don't understand what that means. Does low means look. Lemon. Is that low? That low you're saying is lemon 8? What is that? Salaki, I know what you're saying, sis. Let me look that lemon 8. Lemon 8. What kind of app is that? It's a lock. That's the L. You're saying it's the app. The low is for the lemon. Okay. Lemon 8. Man, that's crazy. I ain't never heard that before. So that's the new app then, Lemon 8. Okay, well, we got to get on that Lemon 8 then, right? Got to get on that Lemon 8. But let me before we go, I'm gonna close out the class in about 15 more minutes. I want to touch on something before let me get I'm gonna start from Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, right? What do we say about the people that want to go? People that go against the Most High and live, right? Or they perceive that they're living, right? Like basically, well, I haven't got punished for the things I've been doing, so why should I stop, right? Because since we're on the top of that run right now, let's go to Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes. It's in the Old Testament. Yes, Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verses 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. So because these people that's doing wrong, right? The people that's I don't know, the one that's being a whoremonger, right? The man that's sleeping with a woman, throw her away. The man or the woman that's committing adultery, she's messing around her husband, but without her husband knowing. What else? The brother that's smoking weed or doing crack, or the sister that's smoking weed with fentanyl and all these things, right? It says right here, right? Here's what God said to that, right? It says, verse 8, it says, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11 says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the Son of Man is full set in them to do evil. Meaning that, so because she or he is not being punished right away for the things that they're doing, they think that like basically, well, it's okay for it to do, so they just keep doing it, right? That's what the Most High is saying. Like, it's saying because punishment doesn't come right away, meaning that punishment is for sure to come, but because it doesn't come right away, they think it's tuab and it's okay, and you know what I mean, that they can get away with it, right? It's like 5 different ones. What's 5 different? Oh, 5 different apps. Although it says Hebrews 10 verse 7. Hebrews 10 and 7. Hold on, I'm gonna come right back to Ecclesiastes. Cause I'm doing double Dutch here. So Hebrews 10 and 7. Hold on. So I don't know what it means by saying it's 5 different ones. I'm assuming it's 5 different apps you're saying, right? Assuming you're saying it's 5 different apps. It's 5 different apps. And what about Hebrews 10 and 7? You want me to read it again? Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7 says, "Then I say, lo, I come to do thy will, O God." Oh, you okay? I see what you're saying. You're asking, does lo just read? Okay, lo's in the scripture. Basically, okay, I see what you're saying. You're asking me, like, what does that lo means? Like, okay. So what I'm believing it's in here. You know, everything. The Bible's like a nothing is necessarily literal, like a figure of speech. So I guess you asked a question earlier. I think you had said. Let me go back up. Hey, shalom, Tamaki. What's good, up? Let me see. Man, you said it earlier. You asked a question earlier. Yes. Your question is. Let me say. I don't know how to like it on here. But yes, that's what. Yes, it's like attention, like low, like yes, like another term for it could be look or like attention. Yes, that's correct. If that's what you're asking, like Hebrew 10, that's what you're asking what it means. Asking does low mean look? Yes, or attention, or yes, that's what it means. Okay, so back to Ecclesiastes. What was I at again? Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Does that make sense? Well, okay, yeah. That's what you're asking. Okay, I understand. I thought the low was the lemon you're asking me because you said lemon 8. So that was my bad. But yes, that's what it meant. So does low mean no or not? Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay. Swap just outside building and shit. Hey, Shalom, Mark. It's been a minute since I seen you, Mark. Shalom, man. A long time I see my brother, man. The most I. So you slaving? Come on, Mark. You still not security, right, Mark? You still doing that security or what? Well, let's get Hebrews 8 and 11. It says again, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the Son of Man is fully set in them to do evil. Verse 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days are prolonged, yet surely I know what it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. The most I saying is here is, and I'm reading from the top again. My man's devil, what it says. Yeah, see your Passover out. Oh yeah, you know it is every day out. This devil every day, man. You know what I'm saying the most I be with you, for real, man. But I'm excited to see your Passover. It's been a minute, man. So verse 12 again, Ecclesiastes 8 and 12. It says, though a sinner doing evil 100 times, right? Meaning a sinful person, they do something 100 times, right? Man, I've always smoked weed, right? I've always taken cocaine. Like, ain't nothing ever happened to me. Like, look, I mean, I heard they die from it, but hey, ain't nothing happened to me. I've been doing this since I was like, I don't know. I've been doing this since I was like 10. I've been doing this since I was 8, right? I've been smoking weed since I was like 10 years old, right? It says, and his days be prolonged. I mean, even though his days prolonged, I mean, like shit, like I've been doing it for so long, I'm still here. Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God. I mean, the Most High is saying what? What does this mean here? What is the Most High saying here? Anybody know what that means? It's saying that, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be it shall be well with them that fear God. I mean, the Most High is saying it'll be well with them that fear the Most High, right? Why would it be well with them that fear the Most High? Any one of the sisters, why would it be well for the ones that fear the Most High? Why the person that fear the Most High? Why would it be well for them? Because what? It's wise to fear the Most High, right? Remember we read it earlier in Proverbs, right? It's wise to fear the Most High. Why would it be? So the Most High is saying this in so much words. He's saying, like, the ones that fear the Most High, it said it right here. It says, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. Meaning the Most High is saying, the ones that fear me, it'll be well for them. And you see the ones that, because the judgment doesn't come to them speedily, they don't fear the Most High. So the opposite of it being well for one and not for the other one, meaning that hell is coming to them, right? But it shall, verse 13, but it shall not be well with the wicked. Here it goes right here. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before God. Meaning that the ones that fear the Most High, their days, like, they're good, right? Their days will be prolonged, right? And the ones that don't fear the Most High, even if it may seem like their days are gonna be long, because what the Most High is saying here is because their judgment doesn't come speedily. I mean, because it's not happening to them right away, it doesn't mean it's not gonna happen to them. Does that make sense? Doesn't mean it's not gonna. It's like, for instance, like take the so-called oppressor, the white man, for instance, right? See, he thinks that, oh man, there's no God. If you ask the average white person, they don't believe that there's God. Why do they don't believe that there's God? Because they're like, man, look how much we're doing. Like, what? They don't want there to be a God, because they know if there's a God out there, they know they have to pay for what they have done. So their subconscious don't want there to be a God. There's no God, right? There's no God. We're gods. Understand? That's what their pride is telling them, right? We're God. We're the God. We're the judge and executioner. Like, we're the, you know what I mean? We make things happen. That's what they want. Why they're doing that? Because their judgment haven't come right away. But surely know that there's an end coming to this nation of Esau, the so-called white man. There's an end coming for him, right? And that's written in blood, right? Khan, it'll be wise, yes. Well for them, because it's wise to fear the Most High. Correct. It's wise to fear the Most High, right? Because the Most High could put an end to you, right? Right? It's wise to fear. I'm gonna get that to you. It's wise to fear the Most High. So yes, you're right on that, right? I'm saying, like, what we have to understand is the things that we're doing, every wickedness that you do, the Most High cannot have wickedness on the face of the earth forever. It won't last forever. It won't last forever. And as we just read, because it doesn't come fast, a lot of men and women think, well, there's no judgment. How you know that? Because people are still doing fentanyl to today. Even though fentanyl, from touching it, can kill you, right? Smoking it can kill you. So when they hear that, they go, man, they can't kill me. I've been doing this for like 6 years now. I've been taking fentanyl. I haven't killed me yet. Hell no, it's what they doing wrong. They taking too much at a time. They doing this, or they don't know how to finish, or they shit cook wrong, or they don't know my supply, who I got it from. They got this, or they got the good shit, or they got whatever. Like, so that's the excuse that they give themselves to justify the wickedness that they do, right? But God is saying, understand that surely will come to pass that they have to pay for the wickedness that they're doing. You're gonna have to pay for that fentanyl. And how you pay for it is death. Death is coming. Right? Death is coming. And that's what we all have to understand, man. What I'm gonna say is In a minute. I think the next. Try to get the next high holiday. Matza, if you in the class, what's the next high holiday coming up? Let's get first Ezra's 3 and 10. It's for all the sisters, man. I'll tell you what. Let's start off with Proverbs 31 and 10 first. Proverbs 31 and 10. Feast of Purim. Thought I appreciate it, Damakia. Purim, right? Hey, Damakia, when is Purim? Thought Razan. Yeah, when is Purim, Razan? When is that? When is Purim? Let me get Proverbs 31 and 10. So I'm going to Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Proverbs. Yeah, so for my Proverbs is one of my favorite books in the Bible, man. Proverbs gives you the discipline, right? That every brother and sister need, man. So Proverbs 31 and 10. It says March 2nd and 3rd. Thought Tamakia. Proverbs 31 and 10 says, who can find a virtuous woman? Right? Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. You know how if you're a sister out there and you're a virtuous sister, most likely saying that not even rubies can match up to you. Right? 2026. Oh, Con, 20. Okay, yeah. So of this year, this white man's calendar year, this year. Right? The most I saying what? The 13th, 4th. Okay, Con of March. Tuara Razan, Tuara Tutamaki, and Tuara. The most I saying what? Like your price is way even above rubies, man. And back then, that was I think during that time, I think that was the currency of choice. I think it was back then. Right? Rubies, right? To get first Ezra 3 and 10. Get another one for the sisters. First Ezra 3 and 10. 3 verse 10 says, it's sisters, right? March. Where are we getting? I don't know what to. Yeah, I know that. I don't know what you're saying. So, first Ezra 3 and 10. Let's start off at verse. No, let's start off at 10. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. I think this parable is the one. I'm gonna jump up a little bit so we can get some context on this. Let's jump to verse. Let's just start from the top. First Ezra 3 and verse 1. It said, now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast upon all his subjects and upon all his household and upon all his princes and Media and Persia. Verse 2. And to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were upon him from India unto Ethiopia of 127 provinces. Yeah, the water is on. Next, okay, yeah, the water is on. Salakia. Salakia. I'm trying to read what y'all. I mean, I'm doing this, Salakia. And it says, verse 3 says, and when they had eaten and drunken and being selfish were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awakened. Verse 4, then 3 young men that were of the guard and kept the king's body spake one to the other. Verse 5, let every one of us speak a sentence, he that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the other one. So, right. So this is Darius, right? The king, right? So he had a party. I'm paraphrasing. I mean, he had a party. Everybody eat, enjoy themselves. They gone on home. He gone to go to sleep. His guards, right? They're talking to themselves. This is them talking, right? They're saying, and I'm picking up from verse 5 again. He says, let every one of us speak a sentence, he that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the other. Upon him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token victory. Verse 6, as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tier of fine linen, and a chain above his neck. Verse 7, and he shall sit next to Darius because his wisdom, and he shall call Darius his cousin. So they're talking. This is them. These are the guards, right? They're speaking amongst each other. And then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it up on the king Darius's pillow. Right. So they laid up on the king's pillow. And this is jumping into what I'm getting into. Verse 9 says, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge, that his sentence is the wisest, to him shall the victory be given. Right? So verse 10 says, the first wrote, wine is the strongest, right? Salakia. It said first, verse 10 says, the first wrote, right? Wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest, right? The third one wrote, women are the strongest, but above all things, truth beareth away the victory. Now, when the king was arose, so basically, what I'm trying to have the sisters understand here is the Bible would even tell you how powerful, right, a woman is, right? On the bar, come on out. To tell you how powerful a woman is, right? The Bible even tell you how powerful a woman is. There's nothing more powerful than a woman in the face of the earth other than this here, right? The words of God. If it was not for the words of God, women would rule the earth. I'm repeat it again. If it was not for the Most High, right? Women will rule the earth. The words of the Most High, the women will rule the earth. That's how powerful a woman is. Meaning that it's very important when you're dealing with a sister, or you a sister, you understand that you being virtuous, right? You being a wise woman, and how you a wise woman is, once again, you have to learn to listen. That's the only way. A sister, a virtuous sister is a sister that can take orders, right? A sister that can yield onto her husband's discipline and his laws. You know what I mean? No different than a wise man, and ones that can keep the law, statutes, and commandments, ones that can follow orders. But generals say, hey, you have to go out there, go to class, teach class every class have to be active Tuesday through Friday, right? As they are here in Arizona from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., right? And on Saturday, Sabbath service, you have from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then we got a food drive starting up again here in Arizona, right? These are things that we're tasked to go out and do, right? So as good soldiers, we have to listen to those things. No different than if you're a sister, you have a husband, you deal with a man. It's very important. You have to learn to follow orders and listen, right? Once again, I always bring up Esther again, right? What makes Esther so powerful? Esther listened to those men. She take counsel, right? She went to counsel and asked those men what she should do, right? And they guided her. And now look, Esther's name is written through times, right? Her name is written in the law, right? That's how very important it is, man. But it's fun, like with these three men. Like I said, I'm gonna read the third one again. He says, the third one wrote, "Women are the strongest, but above all things, truth beareth away the victory." Right? That's how powerful a woman is, man. Salakia. I think that was it on that. I know we're running out of time, so. Once again, man, with the ISUPK coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm Officer Apayak out here in Arizona. Once again, we got classes at 12416 North 28 Drive, 12416 North 28 Drive. Proverbs 31 and 10. What about Proverbs 31 and 10? Salakia, before I go. What about Proverbs 31 and 10? I'm saying once again, yes, we are we're down at 12416 North 28 Drive. You can't miss it. It's gonna be off of Cactus. You cannot miss it. ISPK sign is gonna be on left-hand side. There's gonna be a gas station across the street. QT, come down, get into classes. We got classes from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. And we got classes on Saturdays, the Sabbath service from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. noon, all Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Once again, Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You come down, get in class. Oh, a precept for what I'm speaking on. Okay. Come on, once again, I mean, you want to come down, get in class, you know what I'm saying, and start to learn the laws of God, man. Start to learn would you prolong your life, right? Especially in these hard times that we're living in. I remember before all things, God said what? Gather yourself together, O nation not desired. Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are not desired on the face of the earth. And these last days, all you have is each other. So all the fighting, all the infighting between brothers and sisters and brothers and sisters fighting each other, the Most High is calling that to come to an end. And that's what the ISPK and the Command and Jury, that's what their Command and Jury has been keeping going since the 60s, man. These men has been way before even his time that came. I mean, kept the word going. I'm saying they've been teaching, you know what I mean? And it's very important in today's time that we're living in. You're seeing fires. You see in the East Coast, what is it? It's like a winter wind or some shit they calling it, like a blizzard or something like that going on the East Coast. There's fires in the West Coast. There's wars going on in the Middle East. Well, shit, Middle East always at war, right? But there's rumors of wars going on. Russia, Ukraine going at it. China's planning on invading Taiwan, which I definitely want to do a breakdown on that. I'm saying I want to have a class on that, man, to break that down. Russia wanted to invade Taiwan. My bad. Russia wanted to invade Taiwan. The U.S. is talking about invading the Middle East again, taking back over the Middle East. All these things going on today, man. If you want to prolong your life, you have to come into the truth. And the Most High said to gather yourself together, nation not desired. So, meaning if you don't like, if your brother don't like that brother, if you're a sister have a problem with the other sister, whether if you like it or not, God is saying that you have to be able to get along with that woman or get along with that man before you even make it in the kingdom of heaven. And with that, I say shalom.